Good morning. Today is December 3rd, and this is the second in our series of anecdotes. In life, there are absolutes, and at one extreme is the priest. The priest says, say what you mean what you say, everything else comes from evil. At the other extreme is the pimp. The pimp doesn't lie, he just doesn't tell the truth. He's the one that knows how to manipulate and intimidate people, and in this camp, he's called the bad guy. Although calling him the bad guy is a value judgment statement made from the point of view of the person doing the talking. The pimp considers himself in a class of intelligent people. The pimp has no love in him, no sense of guilt, and no sense of empathy. The pimp goes with Mother Nature, feels good hurting other people, attacks the weak, makes money by making people worse off, is the upper class in a peasant and property class society, is a monopoly supply and demand curve. There are two kinds of pimps. There's the natural pimp, or the sociopath, and there's the kind of pimp who learns how to hustle people. We'll have to check with our psychologist for this, but that said, the symptoms of a sociopath and the tactics that a pimp uses to hustle are strikingly similar. A pimp is a dictator. The communist dictator is one kind of pimp. The fascist dictator is another kind of pimp. But the opposite of a communist dictator is not a fascist. They're simply two peas in a pod. And the opposite of a communist and a fascist is not a dictator. That simply doesn't exist. There will always be parameters of competition. The opposite of a communist and a fascist is the priest. The priest holds Christ's divinity as faith, or in our lingo, decency as a formal argument. The priest says Christ is truth himself, therefore we must have a judicial court and a judicial press. Judicial meaning to establish facts that are true as true. Communism, the prima donna intellectual government, has a sophisticated court and press. Sophistical meaning to establish facts that aren't true as true. The priest says Christ is love itself. Love is defined as willing the good of another person, or making somebody better off, or the priest who takes a vow of poverty maximizes profits, or home economics. The priest is a dictator. He is the God in God and country. The priest exists, then the American Yank comes into being. The American Yank comes into being when the priest exists, so there has to be this outside character, the marshal of Dodge City, that lays down the law and says, he's the alpha male, and we're going to have God and country around here with its normal supply and demand curve and its judicial court and its judicial press. In this camp, he's called the good guy. That's it. That's enough for now. Plenty more to come. We'll see you in the next anecdote.